Listen. We're in the Champions League. We're in the Champions League. Finishing top 3. We're in the Champions League. Where's Liverpool? Not there. Where's Chelsea? Not there. Where's Spurs? Not there. Oh my God!
What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. Welcome to the road trip for our game against Copenhagen. Away, man. Tough game tonight in the Champions League. Obviously, after the start we've had in the Champions League, man, listen, we can't afford no slip-ups. I've done a little bit of maths earlier on the show with Owen, which you lot saw. And we obviously worked out that if we can win these next 2, we can get through on 9 points. We can get through on 9 points. However, this is Man United and this is an away game. So we don't know what to expect. And, well, actually, we do know what to expect in terms of what Copenhagen are about. We saw a little bit about that at Old Trafford. We were very lucky to come out with all 3 points. Andre Onana was obviously the hero in that, and obviously Varane Maguire getting the goal. But we can't rely on that sort of situation again. They've been talking a lot of crud. And you know what? Rightly so. Like KG said in the previous, not even disrespectful. They're saying that they feel they play at a higher intensity. They feel that they got their fans on the side and they feel that they're favourites. And they have every right to believe that. And it's up to us to disprove that. It's up to us to show a little bit of quality, to show them that we're not scared of the atmosphere, to show them we're not scared of the intensity that they want to play at. They can't rush us on the ball. They can't force us into mistakes. We're as calm as you like, and we got quality, and we're ready to show that quality. That's what we have to do. Now, it's a big arts with how we've been playing. Do you know what I'm saying? But there are some positives in terms of we've seen the team get dodgy, lucky, spirited wins this season. That's, in fact, any game we've pretty much won this season have come in that way. And although we don't want the game to be nervy, we don't want the game to be going into the dying seconds and we're hanging on, etc., etc., in theory, right, we're going to need some of that, what we've been displaying, which is a little bit of grit, a little bit of never say die, don't stop until the final whistle, leave it all out there. All the non-negotiables as a footballer, all the basics, all of the basics we can't afford to get wrong today, because if you go 1-0 down early or 1-0 down in general, to be honest with you, against a team like Copenhagen with their fans there, when the tails are up, it's going to be extremely difficult, and we're not scoring a lot of goals. So again, our best route to a win is, of course, a clean sheet and nicking it, because we don't score a lot of goals. Rasmus Højlund is so important in this game. And I know we've been talking about the lack of Rasmus Højlund because we can't get him involved in the game, but we can't afford another game like that, if I'm honest with you guys. Like, we're just not getting him involved. He looks way off getting chances. The play doesn't go through him. He's just fighting people. And I understand why he's fighting people, by the way, because he has to. That's all he's been given. That's the only scraps he's been given. He's been given the graveyard shift, as they call it in DJing terms. You know what I'm saying? Last man to come on, last half an hour, club's dead, people walking out, everyone's mashed up, want to go home, but you have to come and play for half an hour, and no one really cares. Like, that's the kind of shift it's felt like, you know, an insignificant shift, and we're not playing to his strengths. Marcus Rashford back to 100%, says Eric Ten Hag. He's going to be key. I know a lot of people saying go with Alejandro Garnacho from the start. I wouldn't do that. Look, these are the big pressure games. This is when the big players need to step up, and we need the X factor players on the pitch. I'm been the biggest one of the, you know, with all you guys saying when it was right to drop Rashi and, you know, rotate the team a little bit, but let's not get twisted. Rashford's still better than Garnacho. That, for me, he is. He's still better than him, but he's just not showing it right now. But to start the game, I would much rather start with Marcus Rashford and hope he can produce, hope he can spark into gear. He's got to at some point. We just give him a brand new contract. Do you know what I mean? So he's aware that he's not playing good. But I would still start with him. And obviously Bruno, look, hasn't been playing well, but you leave him on the pitch, which shut me up. You know, I was saying take him off, and I'm not saying we're wrong to say these things, but this decision was justified in leaving him on. We need as much match winners in the game as possible, considering there's a high chance, let's be honest, that we could play like how we've been playing. Do you know what I mean? Which is not very offensive, not on the front foot, not pressing, just letting the game tick by. So the magic makers, the moment makers, kind of need to stay on for as long as possible. Right-hand side, I would go with Pellistri, though. It's a bit different with Anthony. Anthony's just given absolutely zero. With Rashi, he can give a 0, but there's still defender might get a little bit scared, little snapshot can happen. He can just go past someone like they're not there after playing, 0 out of 10 for 80 minutes, and then all of a sudden, bang. Same with Bruno, they possess that. Anthony doesn't even look like he possesses that right now, if I'm perfectly honest. I think Ten Hag will go with him, but for me, for Kundo, look, you started him against Bayern. You know what I mean? He had to keep tabs on Alphonso Davies, which is not easy in any game. Do you know what I mean? Let alone first game of the Champions League for us under Eric, away at Bayern Munich when we want to get a positive result, which wasn't in the end. But it was a big task to give him to do that, and he did it. I think he done quite well. I know we conceded a lot of goals and stuff like that, but he did the basics right, and I would give him a shot. I really, really would. Midfield is very interesting as well. Obviously, no Casemiro. He hasn't really gone with Amrabat recently. He hasn't really gone with Mount. I think the fact that Christian Eriksen was obviously in the press conference, we know that he's going to start. So I think that's going to be Bruno, Eriksen. I think he goes McTominay. I think he goes with the same midfield that played against Fulham. Listen, Bruno wasn't good. Obviously, won us the game. Eriksen wasn't good as well, but calm head back in his homeland. I know he doesn't come from the Copenhagen setup and hasn't played against them there, but he knows all about big atmosphere and he's a calm player, and hopefully if we can get a bit of quality, it should come from him. We saw what happened when he came on the pitch against the Copenhagen, and it is about different players for different games. Christian Eriksen turned that game on its head when he came on at half-time when we played Copenhagen at home. So there's no reason why he shouldn't start this game and be okay in this game from what we've seen from them. Obviously, they will play with more intensity. They're at home. It'll be a quicker paced game. But we have to be up to it. And I just think we need, again, calm players on there. If it's not going to be him, I would have gone with Mason Mount again, but he just looks so far off starting these type of big pressure games. I think Ten Hag's a little bit lost with how to get him going. He's had a stop-start. I think he'd be really frustrated with how it's going. And lastly, the back four. The back four, man, let's be honest. Like, we had this discussion earlier on the morning show, me and Owen, and it's like, boy, he says he doesn't want to play Varane and Maguire together, really, because both of their best positions are right centre-back. Now, I do agree you are getting the best out of Harry Maguire when you get it by playing him right centre-back. I agree with that. But we can't afford to turn down the quality of Raphael Varane, right? And the experience of Raphael Varane in these type of situations. For me, you can't. I know the balance of the team is important, but if I'm going to pick one to be slightly out of position, I'm going to pick Varane. Play Varane left centre-back. Anytime Varane has ever played with Maguire, he's pretty much always been left centre-back anyway. So I know for the balance of the team, Eric says he doesn't like it. And if he does pick Varane and Maguire, he's basically going against what he said. But for me, I would pick them two. I would pick them two and go with that. Varane, and if he doesn't pick Varane in this, I mean, Harry Maguire's shot up to the most reliable defender, one of the first defenders named on the team sheet, apart from Wan-Bissaka, now he's back. That's the mode Maguire's in. And Maguire does deserve to start this game. He is in good form. And right now, we do need players who are in a groove, in a rhythm. And he hasn't done anything wrong. So on this game purely, let's have no bias here. Let's not do the Harry Maguire hate train. He deserves to play this game. He's been playing well. And he looks really, really confident. Of course, a mistake can happen. And if a mistake does happen, it doesn't mean, oh, that's why you don't play Maguire. He's in a good moment. We have to just own that and accept it and give him his props and give him his start. I don't have any problem with that. Lindelof's been the one who's been a little bit iffy, obviously out of an illness, out of a little niggle as well. What's he going to look like? But obviously, balance-wise, you want Lindelof left centre-back. I think Eric's going to leave Varane out. I really, really do. And if he does, it clearly does say that there's an issue there in terms of he just prefers Maguire in this moment, which is a big problem for Rafa. Varane can barely stay fit at the best of times, let alone not starting games when he's been fit for a while and coming on for like 2 minutes to see the game out. This is big Rafa Varane. You know what I mean? So the future without Rafa, I get it. Probably going to go Saudi or move on, and we do need more reliable centre-backs. But right now, in this moment, I couldn't think of anyone more that I want in my side than Raphael Varane. So listen, massive game. We have to win. I'll be on the match view. Make sure you guys come in and join. Full-time view straight after that with Owen, when you can have your say live across the world. All you need to do is be a member of the United View Members Club as well. And I'll see you there. Take care. Peace.